Recently, I celebrated 15 years of the first Iron Man movie, and of course, I just recently re reviewed its sequel. Now, let's talk about Iron Man 3, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Enough said. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers and true believers out there. Welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a re-review of the 2013 superhero flick Iron Man 3, which was distributed by Disney, originally produced for Marvel Studios and Paramount. This is the seventh film in the MCU, and is a part of the second phase. Film Now this time Shane Black is on board to direct from a screenplay co with Drew Pearce. And brings back Robert Downey Jr. as the title character and Tony Stark, along with Gwyneth Paltrow and Don Cheadle. And even though he decided not to direct, Jon Favreau is back as Happy Hogan. Also along for the ride are Guy Pearce, Rebecca Hall, Stephanie Szostak, James Badge Dale, William Sadler, Miguel Ferrer, and Ben Kingsley. In this film, Tony Stark wrestles with the ramifications of the events of the Avengers, which came out just a year before this, during a national terrorism campaign on the U.S. led by the mysterious Mandarin. This film was released on this day, May 3rd, 2013. Hence, today is the film's 10th anniversary. Now, if you haven't seen my reviews of the first two films, click on that card and it'll take you to the playlist, which I put for these outside of my original reviews that I did in the MCU reviews playlist, okay? Anyway, now, while Favreau chose not to return to direct this, but still decided to make an appearance in it, Shane Black was hired to write and direct this, working with Pearce to make the script more character-centric, focus on thriller elements, and use concepts from Warren Ellis's Extremist comic book story arc. So anyway, yeah, the film still did get some good response, but it did have some criticism though. But I'll talk about that later. Let's get into the story. At a New Year's Eve party in 1999, Tony Stark meets scientist Maya Hansen, the inventor of Extremis, an experimental regenerative treatment that allows recovery from crippling injuries. Disabled scientist Aldrich Killian offers him a place in his company, Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM. But Stark rejects him. 13 years later, Stark is suffering from post traumatic stress disorder and has frequent panic attacks due to his experiences during the alien invasion of New York, which of course happened in the Avengers. He has built dozens of new Iron Man suits to cope with his insomnia, creating friction with his girlfriend Pepper Potts. Meanwhile, a string of bombings is claimed by a terrorist known as the Mandarin. Stark's security chief, Happy Hogan, is badly injured in one such attack and is put into a coma, prompting Stark to issue a televised threat to the Mandarin, revealing his home address in the process. The Mandarin sends gunship helicopters to destroy Stark's home. Hansen, who came to warn Stark, survives the attack with Potts. Stark escapes in an experimental new Iron Man suit, which his artificial intelligence, Jarvis, pilots to rural Tennessee following a flight plan from Stark's investigation into the Mandarin. Stark's new armor is not fully functional and lacks sufficient power to return to Malibu, leaving the world to believe that he died. With the help of Harley Keener, a local boy, Stark investigates the remains of a local explosion bearing the hallmarks of a Mandarin attack, although it occurred years before any known attack by the terrorists. He discovers the bombings were triggered by soldiers subjected to extremists whose bodies explosively rejected the treatment. These explosions were falsely attributed to a terrorist plot to cover up Extremis' flaws. Stark witnesses Extremis firsthand when Mandarin agents Seven and Brandt attack him. Stark kills Brandt and incapacitates Seven. Meanwhile, Killian resurfaces and kidnaps Potts with assistance from Hansen. American intelligence agencies continue the search for the Mandarin, with James Rhodes, the former War Machine, now rebranded as the Iron Patriot, lured into a trap to steal his armor. Tracing the Mandarin to Miami, Stark infiltrates his headquarters using improvised weapons. Inside, he discovers the Mandarin is an English actor named Trevor Slattery, who is oblivious to the actions carried out in his image. Killian then captures Stark. He reveals he has subjected Potts to Extremis in the hope Stark will help fix Extremis' flaws while trying to save her. When Hansen betrays Killian by threatening to jeopardize his operations, Killian fatally shoots her. Now I'm going to the ending. You know the procedure. 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below as I'm counting down. If you've seen the movie already, you may continue. So I'm just going to continue after I did that 5 seconds. Alright, you've been warned at this time now. Anyway, Stark escapes and reunites with Rhodes, discovering that Killian intends to attack President Ellis aboard Air Force One using the Iron Patriot armor controlled by Sabin. Stark kills Sabin, saving the passengers and crew, but cannot stop Killian from abducting Ellis. An impounded damaged oil tanker, Killian intends to kill Ellis on live television. The vice president would then become a puppet leader following Killian's orders in exchange for Extremis to cure his young daughter's disability. Stark and Rhodes infiltrate the platform, aided by the remaining Iron Man suits controlled remotely by Jarvis. Rhodes secures the president and takes him to safety, while Stark discovers Potts has survived the Extremis procedure. Before he can save her, a rig collapses around them and she falls to the platform below, causing Stark to believe her dead. Stark fights Killian, but finds himself cornered. Killian, who appropriated Hansen's Extremis research as a cure for his own disability and expanded the program to include injured war veterans, reveals he is the real Mandarin behind Slattery's cover. Potts, whose Extremis powers allow her to survive the fall, kills Killian to save Stark. As a gesture of his devotion to Potts, Stark orders Jarvis to destroy all the Iron Man suits. The Vice President and Slattery are arrested and Happy awakens from his coma. With Stark's help, Potts' Extremis effects are stabilized, and Stark promises to scale back his life as Iron Man, undergoing surgery to remove the shrapnel near his heart and throwing his obsolete chest arc reactor into the sea. He muses that even without the technology, he will always be Iron Man. End of story. So what did I think of Iron Man 3? Well, while I've only seen it a few times less than the first two, I will still say it's good in some ways. Anyway, now, first off, we have Brian Tyler on board to do the score, which was pretty good. And as for our cast, once again, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark and Iron Man again. And once more, just like last time and the time before that, and even the Avengers, he's still pretty good and what have you. So, anyway, he still does pretty well. Although it's kind of a shame that he just doesn't wear the Iron Man suit all the time completely, but he kind of acts like a James Bond type character or something like that in some parts of the film. Gwyneth Paltrow is once again Pepper Potts, and I will say she's definitely good in this one, so I do like her performance in this. Don Cheadle returns as James Roy Rhodes, and I will say I liked him in this. He was good. Now, Guy Pearce plays Killian. I'm gonna say he was fine. He was a pretty fair villain, what have you. Rebecca Hall plays Maya Hansen. Good performance, character as well. Stephanie Szostak plays Ellen Brandt, and That character was good. James Badge Dale played Eric Seven. Pretty good. William Sadler played Ellis. Miguel Ferrer played Rodriguez, the vice president of the U.S. Jon Favreau returns as Happy Hogan, even though he didn't return to direct, but at least we get to see him. And Ben Kingsley plays Trevor Slattery. So anyway, yeah. And he was fine and all. We had Paul Bettany back doing Jarvis again. Anyway, well, I agree with critics and what have you. It did get some praise for its action sequences and Shane Black's direction. That was really good too. And Robert Downey Jr.'s performance. But there was criticism for its portrayal of the Mandarin. Yeah, that's kind of a bit of a downside for me. One of the negatives I have with the film. Which I won't give you the real heads up on Mandarin, what have you, because now I appreciate them making Ben Kingsley kind of look kind of Mandarinish, like in the comics and even the cartoons. Which I am going to talk about the Iron Man 90s tune this Saturday in this week's Saturday morning TV log. But it's just that he just doesn't have the 10 rings of power and what have you. But however, Mandarin did, however, well, reveal the Ten Rings organization, which of course that would be the center for a later Marvel film, which being Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Anyway, Iron Man 3 was such a success. It went on to make $1 billion worldwide, make it the second highest grossing film of 2013, losing to Frozen, and the 16th film to gross over $1 billion. And it finished its theatrical run as the fifth highest grossing film of all time. So here in North America, it made $409 million and $805 million overseas. And will go on to be will become the second highest grossing film of the MCU behind Marvel's Avengers, and the most successful of the Iron Man films overall. So anyway, yeah. Now with its reviews, it's a little higher than the second one on the tomato meter at Rotten Tomatoes. They say with the help of its charismatic lead, some impressive action sequences, and even a few surprises, Iron Man 3 is a witty, entertaining adventure and a strong addition to the Marvel canon. Yeah, I do agree. The Hollywood Report said after nearly crashing and burning on his last solo flight in 2010, Iron Man returns refreshed and ready for action in this spirited third installment that benefits immeasurably from the irreverent Quicksilver humor and co-writer and director Shane Black. Calling the film darker and more serious than its predecessors, says the LA Times, credit Mr. Black for changing this billion-dollar-plus franchise's tone for the better while keeping the same actor as Tony Stark. There is quite a bit of Black's trademark attitude and humor here as well. Things like a throwaway reference to the sci-fi classic Westworld and a goofy character who has Tony Stark's likeness tattooed on his forearm, etc., etc. So anyway, yeah. So I'm sort of actually close to being positive than to mixed and what have you on this one. So Iron Man 3, it is a wee bit underrated, but it's not really my favorite. I still like the first Iron Man a little more than these two, but this I think after rewatching this will probably pass Iron Man 2 to be the second favorite of mine. So, with everything said about it, the story's pretty good. The characters aren't too bad, even though despite the issues we had with Mandarin, and a pretty good score from Brian Tyler and other things. Would I recommend Iron Man 3? Well, the answer is hell yeah. I'd say give it a go. If you are, unless you're well, that is if you're a hardcore completionist, then it's a one-time watch if you haven't seen it. So watch it. It is streaming on Disney Plus. So anyway, Iron Man 3, yes. Definitely look into it. So what did you think of Iron Man 3? Well, tell me what you thought about in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And though I am still going to give you Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow, but I've got a bonus video coming up next, and it'll be a special ranking of the 10 films I hope to see this summer, which we'll see where the new Guardians of the Galaxy will wind up, considering it's open up this weekend. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for these other Marvel films. In the upper left-hand corner is my re-review of Spider-Man 3 from 2007. The upper right-hand corner is my re-review of Thor Ragnarok from 2017. Or if you'd like, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, true believers, I'm the Big D saying see ya and Excelsior! Bye now.